What's up, YouTube? Today, you guys are going to get a double feature review. For one reason. One of these is a wrestling pay-per-view. Hard to talk about a wrestling pay-per-view for 6 minutes. So it's going to be like a little bonus for you guys. Not even going to be mentioned on this, but it's definitely a bonus for you guys. Because you're going to see 2 DVDs reviewed for the viewing pleasure of one. First one is our motion picture, which is The Boogeyman. Very scary cover, right? This movie follows the life of Tim, who, as a child, saw his father get killed by the Boogeyman. Dragged into a closet, haunts him for the rest of his life. Now, later on, he's in college, has a girlfriend. His life's going pretty decent, you know? He has no closets in his house. Everything's all out there. He doesn't have to deal with his problems. Well, his mom dies. And he goes back and wants to face his fears, so he stays the night in that house. But while he's home, a girl from his childhood that he was really good friends with stops by periodically to check on him, and there might be something there with them, although he has a girlfriend, but there might be something there with them. Now, Tim is going through his mom's possessions, having a pretty normal time at the house, having flashbacks of what his dad tried to make, fights between his parents about this whole boogeyman thing that he was afraid of. Well, the boogeyman starts to mess with him. Like, there's little things that is messing with him in this house. And he starts to go a little cuckoo Cocoa Puffs and leaves the house. He freaks out and he leaves. He can't take it. And he tries to tell this girl that he grew up with about it. She thinks he's crazy. And she calls his uncle to come check on him. Because he's like, you gotta get out of this house. Also, periodically throughout this movie, there's this little girl who is telling she's afraid of the boogeyman too. And this little girl says, I live by the park. Well, when Tim freaks out, his girlfriend comes to this town to check on him. They go to a hotel room to stay. And she is taken by the boogeyman while she's in the bathtub waiting for Tim. But then when he opens up a closet, he ends up back in the house. Very creepy how that happened. And the boogeyman takes his uncle. And then before it could take the girl next door, he saves her. And then he finds this little girl. Turns out this little girl is dead. And her father, upon her taken, spent the rest of his life trying to fight this boogeyman. And during the fight, he lost, and he was taken too. So now Tim has to do this for all the kids he finds out that are taken by the boogeyman and all their family that have died. So him and the girl next door, they decide to go in and face it. He straps down to this chair. He does all this crazy stuff. But the boogeyman's like deflecting it. He stops the chair from being there. He wants Tim to lose, and he wants Tim to be the next victim. And he is able to try to save his uncle and his girlfriend, and they die. And they have this like final kind of fight between Tim and the boogeyman, where Tim realizes little things in his room are what causes the boogeyman to exist. The fear is so strong that that's what the boogeyman is shaped. Because it's like this little fear cloud, and whatever you're afraid of, it shapes itself into, and that's what it's done. So he continues to ruin these little things in his room that the boogeyman takes its form in, and the boogeyman is then killed. And Tim and this girl are like hooked up now, I guess, and they leave. And they're going to try to have a normal life, which, as we know, going to be hard to do once you've had an experience like that twice. Now, as far as the stars of this film goes, I really don't know any of the names, except for Lucy Lawless. But, definitely kind of, I'd hope they do this, because the acting in this was great. There's parts I jumped, and there was some really good acting, some really good character to script. Like, it was directed well, it was shot well. Overall, a really great film. The sequel is a piece of shit, but this is a really great film. And if you're into horror films, Watch it. If you're scared of the closets, watch it. The dark, watch it. It's a great, great horror film. And more of like a horror thriller. It's not just gore. You don't really see these people get destroyed. It's just insinuated. I guess that's that word I'm looking for, insinuated. So yeah, Boogeyman. Definitely check this little number out. Also, it does come with a few bonus features. I'm probably going to go back and watch the commentary. I believe they have commentary. That's probably all I'll watch. Because I like it, but I don't like it that much. Now, the bonus wrestling DVD that I'm going to talk about is No Surrender, 2005, I believe. Yeah. TNA stuff. Which, for any wrestling fan that's watching this, watch it. For the rest of you, you can just end it with that Boogeyman review. And basically, No Surrender's got a pretty good lineup. But I'm going to tell you the matches that I thought were great. Shocker versus Darrell Clark. Shark Boy versus Sanjay Dutt. Primetime Young Skipper Mikey Batts. It was okay, but it wasn't, usual X Division par. Simon Diamond and David Young versus Apollo and Sonny Siaki. Not that great. Chris Sabin versus Samoa Joe. That was an awesome match. Sabin fought hard, and the victory by Samoa Joe was well earned, who was undefeated at the time. America's Most Wanted versus Matt Bentley and Alex Shelley. Not the greatest match ever. The Naturals and Lance Hoyt versus Team Canada. That match was pretty good. The Naturals I really liked. They always had long, hard-fought matches. 3 Live Crew versus Alpha Male, Monty Brown, and Kip James. Nothing special. Just a pretty much went right on by. AJ Styles versus Sean Waltman. This match was the bomb diggity dog. Watch that one. That one's great. Then you have Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels versus Petey Williams. That one was grueling, hard fought, and a great victory by Christopher Daniels. Raven versus Abyss. That match was the best. The main event for once was the best. It was a steel chain dog collar match. I like extreme matches. There was blood. There was a staple gun at one point. And these two, they just fought each other. Raven always fights hard. Abyss fights hard. Great World Heavyweight title match. Definitely check out No Surrender 2005. It's good. A really good pay-per-view for TNA. And probably rivaled WWE that year. Well, now that you've heard me rant about movies, this has been Macintosh signing off. Thanks for watching my reviews. Enjoy, watch, love them. Later.